Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Her Frequency podcast. Officially, the school season is on. It's been 1 month in classes here at Aarhus University, and we also can meet in person. So that's why today we're going to have this talk with both hosts, myself and Shweta, and our guest, Mercedes. Like usual, our guest will introduce herself, and then we will go into some interesting topics that hopefully will spark good conversations and discussions with you at home, around your circle of friends, and why not at your jobs and workplaces. Mercedes, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hi, thanks for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Mercedes, I'm a chemical engineer and I'm from Spain. I got my master's degree over there, and then once I finished, I moved to Switzerland, where I worked in a cosmetics company. I was in charge of the regulatory, and I was helping also with the quality. After a few years in Switzerland, I moved to California. Well, there I oriented my career towards the medical devices. It was a startup, kind of a startup environment. And 2 years ago, I moved to Denmark. And now again, I enrolled a program about the innovation in healthcare and entrepreneurship. And I'm working now in another startup actually here in office.
Great, that's great. I mean, this brings me to probably the first question, which we have been dying to ask, is that as an engineer, what sparked your interest in moving to startups? Because I know this is not a usual path, and we are trying to explore in our podcast different ways and different streams that as an engineers and scientists we can go into. So I would love to know, because you have a 3 or 4 startup experience. So
yeah. It just happened. Actually, the first experience I had after my master's degree was not a startup environment. Was very oriented to work on a specialist topic, which is regulatory. But when I moved to California, there I had the opportunity to join this company, and that was a really great experience. I think it's a great role or environment to work when you like to learn from different things, you like to contribute to different departments or topics, and the background in engineering I think really helped me to have these competencies to move easily from one. I started in quality, and then I moved to R&D, but I was also helping in regulatory because I had the past experience. And then I moved to Denmark, and again I ended up applying for this the biomedical design program. It's sponsored by Novo Nordisk. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's about training people to create startups and to innovate in healthcare. And right after that, I had the opportunity to join this startup company using medical in office. And now we are working with UV light, far UV light, to fight the viruses and bacteria, and they're very different topics.
Yeah. And
I really love the idea of learning continuously and being able to contribute in different things.
It's very nice. Maybe when we hear you describe or present this story, we don't only see that things just happened, like you started the sentence. We also see a few all of a sudden decisions, but then some others that are well thought, right? Applying for the Innovation Health Program at Novo, deciding to apply for a job in a startup. It's actually reflecting on a more proactive attitude rather than an opportunity showed up or somebody took you by the hand and then you entered those journeys afterwards. And this is what in engineering at Aarhus University we are trying a lot, not just in regards to courses and programs, but also innovation projects. So it just comes natural for our engineering staff and students to translate their skills earned from many years of great experience in their engineering profiles into a profitable, impactful case, maybe in the startup world, but why not as an entrepreneur as well? So you're not the founder, right? But you are contributing with that really strong background.
I think we did discuss this in a few of other podcasts, that because the stereotypical image of engineering or science is that when you come you have to do science, maths and all these things, but I think what we don't bring forward is the fact that we actually develop a whole set of skills. You said quality, you said regulatory. I mean, you can end up, or you can go to any stream in that sense. You can make a career and shine as much as you can in a traditional electronics or engineering or traditional technology field. So I think that's important to imbibe, that engineering is about developing a set of skills that makes you survive in any landscape for that matter. Yeah.
So in this navigation of things that just happened and things that you clearly envisioned for yourself, did you have to overcome certain risks, and what came to your rescue if those risks presented yourself?
That's a difficult question, but about risks. Of course, working in a startup is always less stable than having a job in a bigger company, more specialized. And maybe that can be seen as a risk. You're a little bit unsure about where the startup is going to be the next year. But at the same time, that's the fun, right? A little bit the fun is being able to do different things and not be in the box. It gives you the opportunity to explore. And in my case, I feel very grateful because I think as soon as I joined where I'm right now, other startups, I could contribute, because normally there's a lack of resources in these new companies, and it's very appreciated, all the competencies you can bring. So I feel, like I feel heard, I feel like I'm valuable for the company, so that's the advantages.
Definitely.
Versus the risks.
I recall that somebody very particular helped you sail in that environment when you were in California.
I had a very interesting experience in California in many aspects. And as I said, I was in quality when I joined this company. And I wanted to explore more other things. I was a little bit tired of being in front of the desk, just reading or writing standard documents or compliance documents. And the CTO actually, she was a lady, very competent, extraordinary, brilliant. She saw I could do something else, and she helped me to move forward. So I think that was a great opportunity she gave me there. When she saw I was interested in doing something else, and she suggested me to move to the R&D team, and that's when I started a little bit to move in all directions, from quality to R&D regulatory.
And Greta, you have a similar stories with mentors in the academic career, female mentors.
Exactly. I mean, we did discuss that there was a huge uproar on one of the papers that was published, I think 6 months back, where it actually concluded by saying that women don't come to their full potential if they are mentored by their females, or they have a female mentor. And there was an uproar, and that I think the paper was now being
rejected.
Removed. It's being removed. It was published actually.
Okay.
It was a published paper, and then it was retracted. But given your experience and given my own experience, my PhD supervisor, my postdoc supervisor, there was females, and I think I work fantastically well with other females. So I think it just brings out the best in you. It brings out, you have I would say a factor where you understand, like I do understand things that we were discussing the previous day. We have been discussing, and it builds camaraderie. It builds a good feeling that there is somebody who understands your situation. There's somebody who understands where you are going, where you're coming from, and helps you build up that. So, absolutely.
And I like the fact that you're mentioning that sometimes this research can also be wrong or not capture the full story because it's limited by the sample, the location where it's conducted, cultural preferences, many other factors that maybe should rather stronger present the limitations of the research. And I'm one of those that has many experiences with the male mentors, and just recently I got my first female mentor. But when we were preparing for this session, I got to the thought that I've had a lot of female mentors, but we didn't put a title, or we didn't write it in our cards saying you're my female mentor or male mentor. It just happened that the support was coming from all fronts, no matter the gender, no matter the relationship, no matter the type of the work that we are doing. And can we, maybe I can bring it towards workplaces. Sometimes these mentors are our bosses, right? Sometimes can be our colleagues, subordinate, or somebody in a team. Can we see the opportunity or the possibility for transforming our bosses or managers' roles into mentors?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. That's well, I had a great experience having a woman as a mentor, or I think it was the best thing that happened to me there. And that was the difference. Like my previous supervisor were my bosses, and she was my boss, but she was my mentor for real. And she was so helpful. She made me feel really competent, really smart, really very capable of anything. So, and she was very supportive. We are still in contact actually. We have a very good relationship. I still call her, ask her for help even after that.
ICTO mentor.
I mean, Mary.
But I want to, before we move ahead, I just want to put a disclaimer here in this podcast that although we are talking about female mentors and that they're great and they have helped us, that does not in any way negate the fact that we all have had or male mentors at some point and they have been equally good. It's just we are trying to bring up the females because we know there's
Definitely.
they're not in the limelight anymore.
We hear very often, like, well, I've heard very often, like, it's better to have from women. I've heard it's better to have a man as a boss.
Yeah.
Because whatever reasons.
Yeah.
And I never understood that. So it's like
It
is not
sad.
my experience. So I don't know what the experiences of others. All my bosses have been great.
Yeah.
I cannot complain about men, women bosses, but in this particular case, she was my mentor.
I think mentorship is like a leadership. It's a quality. It's a irrespective of the gender, and it basically shows that how good you can inspire. Like the person believed in you. My mentors believed in me. They inspired me, motivated me, pushed me to places where I don't think I would ever go. And that's a quality that a person has, irrespective of the gender. And it could be male, female, and you can pick it up from whosoever you want along your journey that you meet all the people. Yeah. But it also brings me to something else that we have been discussing during our chats is workplace cultures, and especially since we both are mothers, the things that happens during motherhood, when you are pregnant, before and after, and we have also discussed it with Serena on the planning part, which we will touch later. I want to know your experiences and what you want to bring forward when you were expecting, and how was the culture around you in the workplace?
I remember my experience at not being very pleasant. I was in California when I got pregnant, and it was a difficult situation because the company was all being restructured. It was acquired by a bigger company, so a lot of people being replaced, being fired, so laid off. So I didn't know very well how to manage the communication, and I felt very frustrated, feeling that I had to hide my pregnancy, and nobody told me I had to hide it. But of course, I'm in that situation. There are a lot of tensions, and I know it was not going to be a good thing to say at that moment I was pregnant.
So that's I think it's very interesting and very bold of you to bring up this topic, because pregnancy is like a hush-hush topic when we talk about in the workplace culture. You should not talk about your pregnancy. You should be, you should act normal. And I think from your experience, and I can totally resonate, because when I was pregnant, I had a perfectly normal pregnancy, nothing. Even then, as a pregnant woman, there are a lot of things changing inside of you. And I still remember I told you about this, I was giving a seminar and I was speaking for straight 20 minutes. And at one point I just had to stop because I was 7 months pregnant, I had no energy and I had to take breaks, and somebody in the team was a bit upset about the fact. and that I was told, okay, it's better you don't give any presentations till you have popped out, you know. And for me, it was not so much of a comment, but I felt really, it basically undermined my confidence. I mean, I felt very incapable of doing or handling anything, as if I'm, you know, not capable. Did you have some experiences like that, or your friends, which?
Yeah, I had a bad experience when this situation in the company, that all the changes. I was part of the R&D team, and all the R&D team got an offer to move to another state. Basically, they were trying to move all the R&D to another center. And I didn't know. I had this meeting with the new CTO. That was not my mentor anymore. And the president of the company, and to see about my willingness to move forward, to move to another state or not. And there I decided to tell them what was going on. I told them, look, I'm pregnant. Maybe I was super naive. I think I was very naive. And just, you know, I wanted to be honest with them because they were offering me another job. And so, of course, I told them I have to discuss this with my husband, you know, how things are going to move forward. And the result is the next day, all the R&D team members received an invitation to go to the other state to visit the new research center, and I didn't.
Wow.
So my colleagues were talking about the meeting, flying ticket, you know.
Packing sandwiches.
It's like, I was like, what are you talking about? And I learned about it, so I went to the president and I told him what's going on here. I said, oh, we understood you said no to the offer. It's like, then I was confused for some moment. I thought maybe the communication was, my expression was too negative about this, I don't know. I never said no. I said, it's difficult, I'll just speak with my husband, let's see. And then I learned my other colleagues, in particular, a male colleague, had a even worse situation. He had a house there, his partner couldn't work in another state due to licensing things. So nobody in the team moved to the other state as a result. So nobody was giving them like thumbs up, like, yeah, I wanna move. But I was the only one not invited to them. I fought for that. I got my tickets. I went to this meeting in the new state. Of course, they couldn't do anything else. If I go, I'm telling you, I'm not invited. Why am I never said no. And they claimed, we thought you said no, but of course, no worry, we will get you the ticket. I didn't feel I wanted to go nowhere, you know, to prepare presentations and being so tired, but I did it for myself. Like, I want to be treated equally, like the rest of my colleagues. And yeah, that's in summary. Other things came later, but that's in summary the worst experience I had.
I mean, this is really good that you can fight and raise your voice and make a point out of it.
Yeah.
But it should be unnecessary.
Of course.
It just come natural. And I'm not a mother yet, but of course I plan to. In my head, I have 2 kids now, right? But the thing is that I can't help myself but think about how to prepare myself correctly and how to make sure that the career is not jeopardized and that I will still be spending time with a newborn baby as it deserves to be and as it should be, and definitely have a partner that is going to be there as much as I am, not necessarily with the same contributions, right? But still, it takes some effort to plan for it. Even though sometimes we have considered that talking or explaining what's going to happen next and how you're planning next moves because of a potential pregnancy, as has been forbidden, we should be able to talk more about it and see if colleagues and supervisors and the rest of the departments can support you or assist you into that. And that this is not a point of US or Denmark or any place else in the world. I'm sure that there are many, many ladies out there and bright women who are trying for a very normal, smooth flow of combining career and maternity leaves and motherhood easily, and all the stories are unique. So we just hope that, just like Mercedes and Shweta explained, their actual stories, anybody else listening has the same attitude towards describing it, telling what happens, maybe giving a piece of advice. If you would be in the same position, what would you do to handle it correctly? And then ask for help and support.
Yeah, I think
We will close
here now. I think it's a good point, and I think it should not be a hush-hush topic. It should be openly discussed, and I think that kind of concludes our episode for this month. And we are really grateful for Mercedes for coming here and having a face-to-face chat, which is great. So thank you everyone, and see you next month. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.